Hi, Facebook. Everybody say hi, Facebook.
Hi, everyone.
Hey,
Team
everybody.
Hilbert saying hey. How's everybody doing during this crazy COVID? I think today is what? Is it day 70, you guys?
It
Yeah.
is. It's been a long
Feels like
time.
it.
What? This is the beginning of week 10. I can't even believe it. I was planning on getting so many projects done, and we've been slammed. We haven't been able to really get a lot of our projects done that we've been wanting to work on. How about you guys? Have you been having any luck getting stuff done?
Yeah,
Little
we're getting
bit.
it fun done.
Awesome. In between, like doing a million virtual tours, right?
Absolutely.
It's
Yep.
crazy. It's crazy.
People
Now today it's
people
going
are
to be
out there.
90. It's about time. We went from snow to 90. It's Rochester.
Winter
Go
to
figure.
summer.
Go figure, right? So, hey, we just want to talk real quick about what we've been seeing happen in the market during this COVID. It's been a crazy time. We've embraced it from the second it turned to virtual, and we're doing it at a super high pace, and it's really, really working well. The thing that we're seeing is things have changed rapidly and drastically in the past 70 days. I ran some quick numbers, and I thought this was pretty interesting. I kind of wanted to share this to give some perspective. Since April 1st of this year, which was just like a week and a half after we all got into our lockdown, within Monroe County of the existing townhomes and single-family homes, there's been 1,123 actively listed. That sounds like a big number, right?
Mm-hmm.
Last year, guess how many were listed during that time? It was, wait for it, 2,176.
Twice that.
Twice that, right? So it's down 50%, 50% less listings, and still there's a bazillion buyers out there. So what we're seeing is the average days on market, 1 to 2 days from active to continue to show or pending. It's happening that fast. Stuff is selling super, super fast. The average overall that I found was 7 days. The other thing that we found was since April 1st to Friday when I ran numbers, the list price to sale price, 100%. 100%. Does that even make sense?
Sure.
It's crazy, right? And the reason why is because so many properties are selling well over asking. So those that aren't hitting the asking price are just averaging out to 100%. Normally in our market in the past couple of years, we've been at about 97% list price to sale price. It's even stronger now. The other thing I wanted to pull up and really stress is in that under 200,000 price range, which is a huge first-time home buyer price range for everybody. 69% of the listings that went live have gone under contract. 453 of those homes were part of that. So there's a ton of first-time home buyers out there. In that 2 to 300,000 price range, 2 to 350,000, 149 have gone under contract. That's crazy, right? As far as percentages go from last year to this year, so this year we went 58% of the listings since April 1st to now have gone under contract. The same timeline last year, 66%. So that's not a huge difference, right? That 66 to the 58, it's not even 10%.
No.
I mean, so what it's telling us is stuff is selling at a crazy rapid pace. And the thing that I'm finding is I really feel like we're going to have a tsunami. We're kind of at the top of that tsunami, right? This Friday, we become essential. Of course, none of us know what that means, right, guys? I mean, we don't know what essential means yet.
No idea.
Maybe we'll be able to step foot in a house with a buyer or seller. Maybe with the mask on, but we don't know. But right now we're still at the top of that tsunami. And I feel that if a seller's been trying to get their house ready, they need to be on the top of the tsunami before it all lets loose and all craziness breaks loose. And all those people that have been getting their house ready, now all of a sudden are hitting the market. And I've been trying to stress that over and over again to so many sellers. So Jess, what are you seeing as advantages of buyers making a purchase now? What are you finding out there?
As far as buyers go, I think the process is becoming a lot more streamlined. You know, where they used to trudge from house to house to house over the weekends, now they're just sitting on their couch. They're comfortably watching videos. They can share those videos with family members that can maybe facilitate and help them make that big, huge decision. You know, listing agents are taking great care to make sure that they're more accurately describing the property. They're including more pictures. They're including those videos and, you know, maybe taking close-ups of things that wouldn't be included in listings before. So they're just kind of giving you a better picture of what it would look like to actually live in that house. So it's kind of nice. And for sellers, they're not getting that foot traffic through their house. You know, they're not getting all the nosy neighbors coming through and people just trudging through the house because they're curious.
So it's kind of keeping the seller at a very safe standpoint, right?
It is, yeah.
And the other thing that I've been cautioning sellers on too is they can actually go on living their life, right? They get their house looking perfect for photo shoot day, video tour day. Maybe we do a virtual open house one day. After that, nobody's going in their house. Don't have to worry about
and, for families that have kids, it's hard to keep your house show ready all the time for, a week or 2 weeks or however long it takes to sell it. So being able to just really, really do a deep clean once, take pictures, take videos, and then you can kind of just, keep it tidy, but you don't have to keep it show ready all the time.
Yeah, I agree. And let's talk about the animals too. I mean, if you got cats, dogs, whatever it might be, their hair, their dander, the litter boxes, the food, we want the houses ridded of that. So the dogs are having an easier time too.
Yeah,
it's kind of working out nice. Mm-hmm. Dan, what do you find the benefits or the disadvantages are of buying right now? Do you find there's more benefits that outweigh?
It's a lot easier for buyers, I would say, in this market today to write offers and feel comfortable without seeing the property, because we're putting language in there that's protecting them. So if they are getting an accepted offer, they're able to view the property by following COVID-19 guidelines, of course, within 24 hours of acceptance, and they can cancel that deal for literally any reason. It's a lot more work for the realtors, but it's a lot more, it's easier, I guess, for a buyer to feel comfortable writing an offer without seeing it, just because they know they're protected. There's no good faith deposit sent out. It's like Jess said, everything is done right on your couch. It's super, super comfortable. I love the fact that you can send it to mom and dad so they can see the house too, because we're only really allowing buyers into houses, right? Sellers are talking to buyers. It's definitely a different market.
Yeah, for sure. I've had some sellers that were cool enough with their buyers walking around the outside and even looking in the windows. Have you guys had any buyers doing that kind of preview of properties?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Lots of vacant houses, so yeah.
Yeah, I've had some sellers where they were occupied, and so what I would ask the agent, hey, tell me what time your people want to go and walk around, and the sellers were cool with it. They didn't feel really great about it. They kind of like hid in interior rooms or whatever it might be, but they were able to pull the shades aside and somebody could look and to kind of get that feel. I mean, the other thing we talked about, Dan, was making sure our buyers are driving by the properties too, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
you got to love the neighborhood, right? And you can't change the neighborhood. So driving, I'm telling all my active buyers right now, take a ride out, do yourself a favor, make sure you like what you see, because you can't change that. And then pretty much go for there. I've had good successes with that so far.
Yeah, yeah. So Nance, what do you see happen about the homes being shown right now?
It's all virtual. And I think 71 days ago, we would have thought this was insane. But agents are taking great care right now to actually put a lot of detail in the listings. I've seen room sizes pop up again, which we haven't seen in years. They're doing a lot of pictures, posting video tours, hosting virtual open houses, which is what you mentioned. So the buyer really gets a good feel for walking through the house and feel like what it's going to be like living there. Buyers can ask questions of agents. They can ask questions of the seller sometimes. So they're just provided with so much more information than they had before, because the listings seemed to be very cursory. There wasn't a ton of information in there. And now that's so important, and the agents are really stepping up their game. So the buyers are getting all this information up front. Which
is great. And I also found sometimes if we even ask, especially when we're doing like a virtual open house, I might say to my seller, hey, what size bed is that in that room? So the buyers can get a feel for, the size of the room based on the piece of furniture that's in there, right? I mean, if the buyer with the king bed, right? If that room can't handle it, why walk through the house? If you're not getting a new bed, it's done. Right, absolutely. So here we are, we're vetting out the buyers, right? And that's what we keep telling our sellers. We're like, let's not let every, looky-loo, nosy neighbor in the house. Let's only have people that are serious, that are qualified, that are interested in the property, write that offer before we even let them in the house. And a lot of their questions are going to be answered before they even get in the house. So Dan, are you finding that most people are comfortable buying without actually going into the house?
Yeah, a lot of the calls that we're getting, it takes about 5 to 10 minutes to explain to them, the pros of doing so. Once I get through all of it, almost everybody's on board. I still have some buyers that are, very hesitant to pull the trigger, but I'd say 90% of my buyers are on board and happy about it, because they can kind of throw those escalation clauses out there and give it their all. If it works, great. If it doesn't, we move on to the next one. So it's been pretty good so far.
Jess, are you finding the same thing with your clientele and your customers?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, once in a while people aren't into the virtual thing, but I think in general people are really adapting to it.
And I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon, right? I mean, do you guys have any idea of what normal might be going forward? I
No,
mean,
I think
you
for
know,
sellers, go ahead, Jess.
sorry.
No, you're fine.
I don't think we're going to go back to how it was before. I don't think people are going to feel comfortable doing open houses anymore. I don't think sellers are going to feel comfortable with, 20, 30 people coming through their house on a weekend. And I don't think buyers are going to want to go house to house to house. I think they're going to want to see those virtual tours first and then maybe go see it in person once we're allowed to.
right. I mean, I agree too. I mean, there's no reason to have all these people in there, especially with, such the unknown of what's going on with COVID. And I think that's the strength of an agent explaining to a buyer that, like, look, you might not be comfortable buying in this world right now, but if you want to buy in this world, this is what you have to do, right? And same with the sellers. It's like, and here's the thing, there's always buyers and sellers. Everybody has to buy or sell all the time for some given reason. For instance, we had that listing in Pittsford, right? It was listed, virtual tour, listed for $395,000. Probably 10 people requested the tour. 2 offers within a day and a half. It sold for $30,000 over asking. Nobody stepped foot in it.
Mhm.
Crazy, right? And 2 days later, we let them walk in. They loved it. Did the inspection. Done deal. Dan, we had that listing on Harding. What do we have? 8 offers.
Yeah, that was impressive.
Yeah.
And just to touch base on what everyone else said, I think this will stay for a long time. I really truly do, just because it's easier and the whole process should be streamlined, and this is doing it. In the beginning, I was not on board, and I'm able to live my life. My buyers are able to live their life. My sellers are able to clean the house once, like you had mentioned earlier. Especially you get 2, 3 kids, a couple dogs. It's tough keeping your house show ready. And we can get a lot more people through it without ever touching a doorknob or turning on a light switch or doing anything like that. So I'm 100% on board with virtual moving forward. I think it's super easy, and it's going to vet out a lot of people that are just trying to look at houses. So I'm
I mean,
definitely.
even if you think about our lives now, everyone's doing so much virtually. We're
Mhm.
all ordering stuff. The delivery truck was here 6 days last week. People are getting used to it. I mean, this is a huge purchase, the biggest one, but even cars, people are buying cars without setting foot in them. They're
Right.
getting used to this idea.
Friends I talked to, like, I could never buy a house virtually. I'm like, but you could.
And they
You
will.
just have to retrain and rethink yourself, because you can. If you needed to, you would.
I think everybody moving forward is going to get on board with virtual everything.
Yeah, for sure.
I
Andrea,
agree.
what are
And-
you seeing as far as the timeline for closings? Has that been staying pace to how it has been in the past?
Yeah, nothing has changed with the timeline at all. We're still scheduling 6 to 8 weeks out. And now that everybody has been doing this for a while, like the attorneys and the banks, everything's very much streamlined. And, we have had closings for 60 days, 30 days, so things are moving quickly, and it hasn't really changed anything at all in that aspect.
Yeah, which is great. I've come across a few challenges, doing everything electronically, the paperwork. Sometimes you have somebody that's a little bit electronically challenged, and we're just trying to find other ways to work around that too, right? I mean, we're sending papers in the mail if we have to, just trying to walk them through how they can do it. I even created an AuthentiSign video, how to do AuthentiSign. Here we all think that that's such an easy thing to do. So AuthentiSign, in case people out there don't know, is how we sign everything electronically. I made this quick video and I send it out as a tutorial. Everybody's like, oh my God, it's so easy. Okay, they get nervous about signing something.
Yeah, they do.
And this just makes it that much easier for them. So Dan, you just mentioned, and I think this says a lot about what's happening in our market. How many offers did you just write this weekend?
7.
7. And how many of those were competing offers?
7.
Do you have any idea like how many like they were competing against?
I've seen the average in the last 3 weeks, the average number of contracts that my clients are writing are probably 10. 10 offers on each property. I've won 4 of them, and 3 of them have died due to the contingency of seeing the property within 24 hours. So it is very helpful. It is a lot of work for both realtors and the buyers, because you got to sign everything. Then you got to go look at the house, and you got to make sure you love it. And then getting through inspection is the next step, of course. But it's streamlining still. I'm not showing a client 50 houses before they write one offer. They're looking at 50 offers on the MLS search that we have set them up on. part those. We have a conversation about the ones that they love, and then I get them virtual tours. We go through the virtual tour together. If they have any questions, I answer whatever I can, get them answers from the other agent, and then write offers with the correct verbiage.
Yeah. Are you finding when you're in that competing, and this question is for all you guys that are up, are you finding when you're writing competing offers, is it a cash offer that's trumping the offers that you're writing, or is there some piece that is trumping them? Jess, Dan, Nance, you guys have any?
My last 3 that I lost were price.
Okay.
My buyer
so
wasn't
you came
willing
in
to
lower.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've only wrote one offer in the last, how many days, 70 days under asking. Usually right at asking or with an escalation clause, because I mean, our goal is to protect your asset, and your asset is your money. But writing a strong escalation clause or first right of refusal to protect you and give you guys a fighting chance in multiple offer situation, because that is the new normal. I mean, $10,000 to $20,000 over asking, 20 years ago was you would laugh at that. And now today, that's literally the new normal. And it's not because agents are pricing the properties wrong. It's because there's so many people looking to buy, looking to get out of that 1-bedroom apartment that they can't handle anymore after 70 days, and they're pulling their hair out. So it's very hard for me to tell someone, hey, look, you got to go $25,000 over asking. But at the end of the day, what I ask my clients is, look, you tell me the number, the ultimate highest number that you're okay with losing and winning at. Either way, you're not upset. We just move forward either way. So it's been interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. And to your point, Dan, I think that a lot of them they just can't fathom, spending more than asking price. And the conversation I have with sellers is it's more important than ever. Even though you may be in a solid seller's market, price it perfect. You price it perfect, you're going to get multiple, it's going to go over, and it's going to be like a win-win all the way around. Jess, how about you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it comes down to too, like prepping our buyers, right? Because a lot of buyers that have maybe bought 10, 20 years ago, they want to get a deal like they did 10, 20 years ago. And offering 20,000 over just blows their mind when you tell them that they have to pay more for a house. So I think setting those expectations early on is imperative. And I think that really sets them up for when they're ready to write an offer, they kind of know, like, this is what you're up against. You may be up against 10 other offers. And so terms matter, price matters, writing an escalation clause, if you're comfortable with that, that's important.
Yeah, for sure.
And maybe going over, if you show them the difference in your actual monthly payment, it's only going to be maybe $20 more, $50 more. And that to them is like, oh, okay, that's not so bad. I'm not going to lose this house over $40 a month.
Right. And that's a good way to stress it to them as well, right?
Yeah.
Andrea, are you seeing any lag in any of the paperwork coming through, or people getting necessary documentation to you that's needed?
No, I would say the biggest time thing that we're having right now is just getting like the inspectors in the house, and the repairs need to be done, because you can only have so many people in a house at a certain time, and half these people aren't working. So I think that's the biggest holdup that we're having problems with at this point.
Yeah. Otherwise, once we get through those hurdles, it just seems to be rolling along and just happening, which is great.
Yeah, 100%.
So, hey, world out there, if you are thinking about buying or selling a house, please think of Team Hilbert. We're here to help you. We love what we do, and we do it great, and we'd love to help you out. Thanks for your time.